This is just for the people that are getting really freaked out about DC. And although I don't really want to talk about this right now, the power of being a big sister general compels me. Some people get compelled by Christ. I get compelled by being a big sister general and knowing that you guys are all going to get all kinds of different information, and some of it might freak you out. So I want to just give my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to fight with you about it. So my guess would be you're going to hear people on here talk about the DC stuff is Project 2025, and they're going to give Washington DC to Peter Thiel. I don't agree with that. And I know people like to use Project 2025 and Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin to scare people and get people to watch. But the thing is when people want to talk about Project 2025, where it never makes sense to me is they use it like, oh, that's in Project 2025. Oh, they're going to take the homeless and make slaves. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're going to federalize this. These are all things that they have been doing since forever. Since forever. And it's just that people are can now point to it or talk about it, whereas they didn't notice it before because maybe it didn't have a name, or they just didn't care, or they were fully unaware of it. But we've had a prison system that has had slaves the whole time that make stuff. A lot of the made in USA stuff you buy is from someone in a prison. That isn't new, it isn't changing, but because someone can put, oh, that's Project 2025, it scares people. I'm not saying it's not scary, but it's always been that way. You know, we've had presidents that try and keep a lot of power consolidated. Guess who was the first one that really wanted a lot of power and to be, his word was the rule? It was George Washington. He was a piece of shit. He was horrible to his slaves. He wanted to track them down if they tried to get, he was gross. But people don't talk about that. It's like, oh, just now this is happening. It's always been happening. And the panic in white people, and I don't know if all the fear-mongering is coming from mostly white people, but I would venture a guess, because it's like reality finally checked in with you. I don't know, but if you read Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin, they get less scary. If you read the things they've said, Curtis Yarvin's been around forever. You go read his stuff. He can't land the plane. He talks in all this stuff, but he can't ever get anywhere with it. It's essentially, we just need a daddy in charge. No, I'm telling you, people can run circles around that dude. The creators on here that I trust, I would put them in a room with Curtis Yarvin any goddamn day. He would shit himself. These men. And here's the thing about Project 2025, Heritage Foundation, Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, even JD. Do you think that a lot of people on the right know who Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin are? They don't. They have no clue. Do you think they know about Project 2025 and Heritage Foundation? No, they don't. Most of my would venture guess don't know, or they just think it was left-wing propaganda. They said it was just to scare them. It was just a scare tactic. Trump denounced it the whole time. I don't even want to know what's in there. It's probably bad. Okay? So they don't think that's what's happening. They don't think that's real. They don't think it has anything to do with religion. Not everyone on the right is religious. They're just conservative. They vote about taxes and what they think is safety and certain laws to make themselves feel better or to keep their bank accounts feeling better. They don't do it out of being malicious. That's just all they know. And a lot of them don't have Democrat friends, so they have no way to be challenged. And you go, well, they can look at the news. They only see propaganda. I know, I was raised there. And it's crazy to me that people that were not raised that way and don't know that world get on here and talk about the world because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. These people think they're doing a good thing. They think Trump is saving this place. They have no doubt. Someone said that their grandmother, whatever, was told that Big Balls was murdered. So she thinks this is good, because why wouldn't it be? They live in a different reality, and there's nothing there to challenge them. And anytime they meet up or talk to a Democrat online, the Democrat tries to tear their face off, so everything gets reinforced. So the left is making just as big a mess as the right because they refuse to learn about the right. Some of us try and teach, and the blowback we get is crazy. And I think some people just want to keep fighting. Okay, then you'll get what you get. But because they don't know about Project 2025, or the Heritage Foundation or any, or Peter Thiel, any of that stuff, that is something we can use to our advantage, because a lot of them for the first time are waking up about Israel. They've always been taught to protect it. I was raised that way. It's like we were kindred states, essentially. We're both being picked on. So we were taught to protect Israel, and that's where the second coming was happening. So we were just taught that, but that's not what's happening, because social media has changed everything. So you have a lot of them that are speaking out that are not okay with that. You have ministers and pastors and stuff coming on here saying supporting Israel is morally wrong. That never used to happen, ever. And now it's becoming popular. It's making non-voters go, oh shit, I'm a part of this because I haven't been listening. I thought my vote didn't matter. Oh crap. I've seen 5 people in the last couple days say, yeah, so I got my head out of my ass and I won't be voting, and I am so sorry. So that's happening over there. Now, if you read Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel, oh, they're Zionists. The things Peter Yarvin has said about Gaza are foul. And that can be, they can be introduced that way to the people on the right. And then you say, and guess who they support? Project 2025 and Heritage Foundation. And let's take a look at that, because they all support Israel. If you're going to talk to your friends, you talk about Israel and the people that support it on the right that are behind there. So when they start hearing those things, or when they start seeing laws implemented that make them feel restricted, they can know where that's coming from. Because a lot of them don't know, well, a lot of them don't feel impacted by it yet, just like the tariffs are only now kicking in, like they're only starting to feel the fallout of the economy from this administration now. It's kind of like, oh, this is happening from Trump versus Biden or Obama or whoever, like, oh, it's coming from him now because we're out of that zone of it being Biden. So now as they feel more restrictive laws coming about because of Project 2025, it's like, excuse me, or like that minister that got on and talked about women being vessels and taking away our vote. That stuff should be on interviews, because people on the right don't know that that's being talked about unless they're in like the extreme cult part, that's the white Christian nationalists. But a lot of them aren't. And they're being talked to like they are, but they're not. So they see that stuff, and you talk about how you're going to control, you know, what they wear, what they say, and their vote. I promise you, they're not okay with that. Just the ones that want to be the submissive trad wives that they're trying to push and promote on here, which is all propaganda. But most women on the right that are my relatives, or people I associate with or friends with, they work. They have their own businesses. It isn't like it used to be where the men worked and they stayed home. So maybe they didn't feel like they needed to vote, or they didn't deserve it, or whatever the brainwashing was at the time. That's just not there now. And people will say, well, we lost Roe v. Wade and we were told we never would. Those women felt they had the power to vote. They had the power to vote to save those babies. So that vote mattered to them. In these churches, their votes are taught that they're very important. Like in the Mormon cult, yeah, voting is a big deal. And to suddenly just tell them, oh yeah, you can't, then gnaw those men's face off. It's just that very small group that believe that. But women, again, their power of having a vote is what allowed them to save the unborn babies. Do you see? So you're going to get all this fear-mongering. They're trying to take away a vote. They've always been trying to take away a vote. A small group of men, a group of incels have been trying to do this. But there's a lot more women that are awakened. And yes, they maybe didn't vote to protect the unborn, but they didn't think that was something that affected them. But taking their vote absolutely would affect them. So please look at things in a different context when you're hearing all this fear-mongering. All this stuff they're trying to scare you of has always been here. And it's just that you're hearing about it for the first time, or you're hearing it through the lens of Project 2025. Take off Project 2025 and realize, well, shit, it's always been here. We just haven't done it enough to stop it. And now we know, and so we will.